The City of Milpitas is in the process of completing a citywide traffic safety project. This presentation provides a summary of the completed efforts to date and how the public can get involved in this project. The goal of the project is to identify traffic safety improvement strategies based on a review of crash data and input from city staff, stakeholders, and the community. As part of our analysis, we've identified high crash concentration locations, high risk locations, crash trends, and emphasis areas throughout the city, and are soliciting input as we develop recommendations for safety improvements. Public feedback plays a key role in the safety project and will help us have a better understanding of safety challenges on the city road network. The end product includes a citywide traffic safety plan, which presents data analysis, identifies emphasis areas, presents proven safety countermeasures that the city can utilize as a toolbox for engineering improvements geared towards reducing crash frequency and severity, and provides an implementation strategy that'll aid the city in prioritizing improvements. We evaluated 5 years of crash data from 2017 to 2021 obtained from Switters, which utilizes information gathered from police reports. It's worth noting that 2022 data was not yet finalized at the time of this recording and is not included in the analysis. As shown, crashes are generally concentrated along the major commute corridors throughout the city, including but not limited to Calaveras Boulevard, Great Mall Parkway, and Montague Expressway, and along the major intersections along these routes. It's not surprising that these are the primary commute corridors in the city where aggressive driving behavior is mostly observed, and that includes speeding, red light running, and stop sign running. This slide shows a pie chart presenting crashes by type, and the top 3 crash types were broadsides at 31%, rear ends 25%, and hit object crashes at 9%. Following the safety analysis and data-driven process, we've identified 25 case study locations. We reviewed factors such as crash severity, crash rates, crashes involving vulnerable road users, including bicyclists and pedestrians, crash trends, and proximities to schools and senior centers. This map presents the case study locations identified, and it also shows where we've received public comments, as shown in the purple pins. As you can see, there's a good amount of overlap between the priority locations selected based on the crash data and areas of public concern. While we will identify site-specific countermeasures at these emphasis locations, we are developing a countermeasure toolbox and programmatic approach to implementation of countermeasures throughout the city. We have developed a countermeasure toolbox which contains a menu of proven safety countermeasures at intersections and roadway segments. The city has already implemented many of these countermeasures, so not all of these treatments in the toolbox are new to the city. These shown on the slide are a representative sample of the countermeasures applicable to non-signalized intersections. These include high visibility retroflective strips on signposts with regulatory and warning signs, which would enhance sign visibility to increase driver compliance. Also shown are high visibility crosswalk treatments and advanced stop bars, which are intended to improve pedestrian safety and reinforce the pedestrian right-of-way. This slide presents some countermeasures that are applicable to signalized intersections. Intersection safety lighting, either where not present currently or upgrades, would help prevent crashes occurring at night. Flashing beacons are proven to raise driver awareness as they are approaching a traffic signal where direct line of sight is obstructed. And improved signal timing can help prevent congestion-related crashes such as rear-end crashes, and it's particularly effective along corridors with closely spaced traffic signals. Some examples of roadway segment countermeasures in the toolbox include edge line or center line rumble strips, which provide drivers with auditory and tactile warning indications when driven over, which can mitigate lane departure crashes. Dynamic speed warning signs is another countermeasure which alerts drivers if they are driving at unsafe speeds. High friction surface treatments allow motorists to maintain better control, especially during wet conditions and when navigating curves in the roadway.
In the month of March, we kicked off public engagement through our online public meeting. Following the meeting, we launched our first online public input period through Social Pinpoint to gather survey feedback, as well as understand the community's insight on various areas of concern. We left this input period open for a month and a half and received a lot of really great feedback that helped to inform and support the project work to date. This past May, we held an in-person public meeting and also opened up our second round of public input that is currently live. We would love for you to participate and provide your insight. I want to take this time to share a summarization of some feedback collected to date. Taking a look at this brief snapshot on the survey participants, most folks had local ties to the city of Milpitas and reside here. Most participants also reflected that they do drive and have familiarity with the roads here in Milpitas. These are some of the comments and themes that we received, some of which were specific to location and others were themes that frequented the comments. We heard a lot about the high traffic areas, hard to see signals, traffic congestion, parking issues, and the desire for more protection for bikers and pedestrians. I also want to highlight some of the main things we heard through the survey. Most survey participants shared that the top 3 challenges in the city of Milpitas were aggressive driving, pedestrian crossings, and traffic signals. This was supported by a 3-tiered ranking with a first, second, and third choice. Improved signage and pavement markings, as well as signage and striping, also showed to be a challenge area as well. I want to note that the last 6 options here, trucks and commercial vehicles, distracted driving, ADA accessibility, construction safety, street lighting, and bicycle lanes, were not identified as challenge areas in the city of Milpitas despite being included in the survey. I also want to differentiate and go over some of the feedback that we received based on the interactive map portion, and this was specific to locations throughout the city of Milpitas. The top challenges that were identified based on location were pedestrian safety, aggressive driving, and traffic signals. This aligns with what we heard in the survey feedback received. Here you will also find the survey from round 1 of our public engagement, which you may also take part in along with the interactive map survey. There you can indicate any safety challenges you may have experienced and/or review others' comments to date. We're looking forward to hearing your feedback.